Hey everybody, welcome back. Today, still going into Resurrection Sunday, which every day should be remembrance of what Jesus did for us. But it's crazy sometimes how we look at life. And, I too was once, grew up with the Easter Bunny. And if you got kids and you celebrate this, please, you might not want them to listen to this. Then again, maybe it's God leading these children to listen to it. So either way, let God's will be done, not our own. And again, come against it all you want. I too, at one time, celebrated Easter in the wrong way. So, where are we in life? God's love. You think about love. You think about who we are and our attractions to things. Some people say, well, I broke up with this person because they wasn't who I thought they were. Or I know in a couple cases people would pull out old pictures and look at people and go, you're not the same as you used to be. Well, let's face it, guys. Not saying there's any excuse for it, but some women, when they get pregnant, they put on some weight. And that's just how it rolls. You gotta accept whatever comes out of it. The older we get, I put on weight. I mean, that'd be like Darlene going, "Hey, you put on weight since we first got together. You were in pretty good shape when we got together." But also I wasn't driving a truck either. There's still no excuses. I gotta cut my calories back. I gotta watch what's going on. Watch the intake, watch what I'm doing. But what is love? What is love to you? Do you look at a skin appearance? Do you look at skin type? Well, that could be ugly. Because you're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be satisfied if that's how you walk into any kind of relationship. So we walked into a relationship with Jesus not even knowing, I know speaking for myself, not knowing what was going to happen, not knowing the crucifixion, not knowing what he did on that cross, and the power of the cross. That's the amazing part, the power and authority that we have from the cross, from him going and taking those 3 nails. That song goes, he took the nails for me, he took the nails for you, he took the nails for us. I don't know. I go back to that last video. That sign above me. Jesus, again. Jesus of Nazareth. King of the Jews. Don't put that. Put anything. Don't put that. Give me something. They couldn't come up with nothing. Not saying that's what they did, but in a way, read the words. So we go and we look at what Jesus paid. Jesus paid the ultimate price. God gave love. God paid the ultimate price with Jesus when he went to that cross. When the veil was torn, we didn't no longer need a high priest when Jesus surrendered up his soul. So think about the power of that. We didn't need that high priest to go and sacrifice something on our behalf. Jesus loved and obeyed the Father so much that he went to that cross. Because he knew he was the only one that could. He knew that we would not be able to do very long of anything. Because the devil has sped everything up. I've spoken in many videos, people. Many videos. You allow your children to be babysitted by the internet, by TikTok, by whatever, MySpace, your space, and go down the list where it all originally went chaos to me. Growing up without the internet, I don't really care. But look at what he gets out of it. He gets glory out of everything, whether it's good or bad. people still get glory out of it. It takes something bad and makes good happen through it. You know, some people just don't believe. I was once there. You know, that's why, you know, you can read words however you want. You can take something however you want. Again, I can't change you. Only you can. And if you can't change you, then there's a reason for it, because you don't have Christ inside you. See, that resurrection, when he defeated in them 3 days, and again, it amazes me how we come against the holidays and how we come against all this. See, I don't come against it. I don't come against Christmas. I don't come against not celebrating Christmas, because it's Christ's birth. What we hold as Christ's birth. Think what you want. It doesn't matter, as long as you celebrate Christ's birthday, giving glory. God gives us gifts every day. What's the difference if you give somebody a gift for their birthday, you give somebody a gift, a housewarming gift, or just to give somebody a gift? Give them a gift card or something, because you seen them doing something at work was outstanding and over and beyond. When was the last time you went up and thanked somebody for doing something, doing their job? It's kind of like, when was the last time you held a door? Well, these days, most of it's automatic. But when was the last time you seen someone circling around and it's raining and you're by yourself, and that very car pulls out and you're looking like, oh man, there it is. I'm not going to get wet. And then you see this old lady driving around, or an old man, or a woman, and they're looking at the spot thinking, oh, this person's probably going to take it, and you just point to them, tell them to go ahead. When's the last time you seen somebody, an older person or anybody, a woman that has children, and grab their cart so they can put their children in and take their cart back so they don't leave anything unattended? People, there's so many kind things we can do out here to show God how much we appreciate His love, to show God how much we appreciate each day. But instead, we're allowing the devil to overcome, and most of it is through hatred. Which, what is hatred? You look at how much racism we have today. Unbelievable. What really gets me is when people call you racist. It's like, really? You're calling me a racist? I had a guy at a place I worked, I kid you not. It was like God's timing, perfect to a T. He was a painter. So a real tall guy too. He's like, I think he was like 6'6", 6'7" or something. I mean, he's ridiculous tall. I mean, that guy didn't even need a ladder in these apartments to even paint the ceiling. He could paint the ceiling with a paintbrush. He was tall. I mean, tall. He thought, see, back in the day, I didn't mind painting. These days, I can't see worth a squat, so I really don't like paint. I can't even tell if paint's running. So I don't like it. I don't like the paint anymore. You know, I don't have that steady edge like I used to. It takes, basically, I can still do it, but it takes me longer to do it. And so he had some difficulties, and all of a sudden he thought I was, quote unquote, this guy was older than me, because it was 55 and older building. Quote unquote. You're trying to steal my Kool-Aid. I'm like, what? I mean, seriously, what are you talking about? Goes and tells the boss, property manager, that I was a racist. I said, racist? She called me down there and she explained the situation, and he's standing there, and he goes, I mean, yes, you got some kind of black person in your family, and he's like screaming at me, and spit coming out. I said, please, man, if you're going to spit, please step back a few feet, because now you're in my personal space. And I don't mind people getting in my personal space, but if it's not welcomed, because you already got an attitude with me, and you're already waving your arms around, no, you're too close. Please step back. Because the first thing I'm thinking of, man, I'm about to bust your kneecaps open and you're about to fall down to my height. And then we can get it on. And no, never mind. And I'm thinking in my head going, you got to be kidding me. Calling me racist? And this is what I'm thinking. And all of a sudden, now granted, the property manager never met any of my children, but my oldest daughter stopped by to show me my grandson's outfits and stuff that she was getting from school because she was shopping around the corner. At the time, there was a Kmart there. So she stopped by, she called, and I said, yeah, just go ahead and I'll ring the buzzer and let you in. So she stopped by, the buzzer rang, and I hit the button. I said, just come around the corner and you'll see a little hallway to the right. And all of a sudden, here comes my grandson, running up and gives me a hug. And I looked up at both of them, and I said, yeah, I'm a racist. If I'm a racist, then how in the world is my daughter dating American Africans, African American, whatever you want to call it? I always taught my children, the ignorance is ignorance. I don't care what skin color you are. See, God, when we get to heaven, if we get to heaven, these days I wonder when I'm seeing the falling away from the churches, and I'm seeing the falling away, how many churches are going to be packed this Sunday? Think about it. Catholics, you're a big one for it. You gave the meaning to C and E Christians. You gave that meaning, because they show up for Christmas and Easter, if no other times. Are we the same way? Are we showing up to God's throne room? God, I need, I want. Do we get tired sometimes? People say step out in faith. I mean, I've stepped out in faith so many times. I could do a week's worth of videos on what God and stepping out of faith and trusting Lord Jesus, when everything else and people thought I was crazy for some of the stuff I was doing. It bothers me when I hear people go, well, we got, I got to do this and I got to do that. Really? You do. I got extreme payments. Well, everybody's got payments. You really think if you're following Jesus that he's going to let you fall? See, we put God back in that box. We take the power of the crucifixion and we put that in the box with God. Because you don't understand his love. You don't understand the love is why you end up in relationships that are no good. I question sometimes, Lord, did I not hear right by you? Did I not pray? And the job still comes forward? What is the meaning of this job then if it's horrible? Did I displease you in some way? Is this my consequence, my punishment? I know you might say, well, why would God punish? Well, I need to be punished. I need to be disciplined. I need to accept those, and I need to praise him in those moments. That's how you defeat the devil. The devil wants you beaten down. Thank you. Thank you for your correction. Thank you for your discipline. Thank you for watching over me and protecting me, teaching me. Because if I never knew if I was doing it wrong, then how do I know I'm doing it wrong? The same as we discipline our children. But you notice, if you discipline right, and they get the idea of it, you go back and tell them, I love you. But you can't do this. See, God loves us unconditionally. We have to love Him back. God loves us more than what we can ever love. Because I don't care how mad or upset you are at your children. I guarantee it. Unless you're just a plain wicked person, you're going to question ever if you could sacrifice one of your children. So, where are you at in your walk? Are you using God and Jesus for an ATM? Well, if you're not putting anything in it, you're not going to get anything out of it. Judgmental people that go to the church. Man, I know a church that is full of judgmental people. You can come and sit by me. Whether you're an alcoholic, whether you're transgender, whether you're full of drugs, whether you're this or that. And again, I put there, what about me? Because y'all falsely accused me. Y'all took things that I said wrong. No reply. Return to sender. You know that Elvis song, Address Unknown? There you go. Return it because it never got delivered. Judgmental people claim to be Christians singing hallelujah to God on Sunday morning. And then go out there and F you, you piece of garbage, you this and that. Because you take something wrong. How can you take something wrong if you never asked? How come that you never asked? Because it's already in your mind. How dare this person then come against me? People, think about the logic of this stuff. Think about where God is and where somebody else is. It's best to let that stuff way out there and stay way out there and let God do what God does. And I mean let Him remove anything out of your life. It may be children, it may be family, it may be friends, it may be co-workers, who knows, it may be whatever that's in your life. Sometimes it may be video games, it may be movies, it may be music. You should watch and look at what you're watching, let alone what your children are watching. You know, you walk into satanic realms. You walk, there's a restaurant up here, I think it's up towards Cleveland, Ohio, that has this horror films. You know, they got people that dress up, I guess, and they got costumes of Jason and Michael Myers and all this stuff. You got people walk around in there, I guess, dress up, and they'll come in there and sit and stare at you and all this kind of stuff to make it more creepy. Listen, I don't need that. I've lived that. I don't need it. I don't need to walk in. I've been in plenty of houses. I've worked in them. I know the devil's place. I've sat in it. I've sat by his throne. I've looked at it. And let me tell you, no good, no good, no good, no good comes from it. So it's kind of hard to ever understand God's love if you had nothing but hate and hatred in your life. Because you grow bitter. You grow of hate. Some people, you just don't understand it. Because some people then go, well, I'm going to try it. Now, I recommend you don't. Because if there was one part of that hell thing that I left out, that I could have left out of the Randy K one, because I went back and I watched the one that I first did here on YouTube, and I didn't put that part in there that I know of. I don't know. It's been a while. I'd have to, again, go back and listen to it. But the fact of the weight bench part and casting on the power and the strength. Because I get emails still, I just got one. How do you do that? How do you get that strength? You don't want that strength. Did you not listen to anything? All you're listening to is that particular thing. You want it. See, this is why I don't mention demons, names and stuff. I mean, people, you're going to figure it out your own, but I'm not helping you along the way. Stay away from it. You don't listen to what I went through. God have mercy on me. Because I didn't know. See, you different, you know. I'm very convinced I could do a whole teaching on nothing but the love of Jesus and call it My Days in Hell, and mention hell through it, so it's not a lie. And I guarantee it will blow off the chart. Darlene said the other day, she goes, that hell video you did on here, it's like 20,000 people watch that. And I'm thinking 20,000 compared to the other ones. I think the other ones are way better. But for some reason, people are stuck on this hell. They're stuck on fashion, whether or not they're stuck on it for the right reasons or the wrong reasons. The right reason, hopefully, would be, oh my gosh, I don't want to go to hell. Let me hear this. Let me hear if I'm doing any of these things. Hopefully, that's it. I don't know, man. I get people telling me, can you do more on the hell videos? Why? They won't answer. Okay. Well, I'm not. I'll do whatever the Lord tells me to do. You think about if I came up to you and we were in a fight. Why are we going 20 miles an hour on a 70 mile an hour zone? But you think about if we were in a fight and we started getting swelled up and we started getting our eyes swelled and bleeding and hands hurting, still is not the beating that Christ took. Still doesn't compare to what Jesus did. Okay? But now let's think about it. You're hurting so bad because I've testified to this. Every fight I've been in, whether I won or lost, I tell you I've lost every fight. No matter what the outcome was. I've lost it because it took me days to recuperate from it. And the more it happens, the longer it seems to take you. Because your body isn't meant to take blows after blows after blows after blows. It's just not meant to do that. Especially when the swelling's down and you got to fight that weekend and you're going, man, I'm just now starting to be able to see out my eyes. And then you got another fight. Don't take long to start swelling you up. And these guys know exactly what if they even see you move a certain way, they can see pain. You can see when something's hurting on somebody and you tag the little tar out. The ribs, you keep tagging the ribs. And if they drop their hands to protect the ribs, then their face is wide open. It's a lose-lose situation. Because you can't control it sometimes because your arms will go to that hurt point knowing somebody's going to there and you're going to drop your guard. So, you think about the Easter Bunny. It's about as pagan holiday as you're going to get. I don't know. I have a hard problem, and I understand what the pastors say. Well, we're bringing people in to hear about God. No, you're not. What are you teaching? I don't hear anybody talking about Jesus. I don't hear anybody. So you're going to pass out a little bit of coloring books or pamphlets or something that's going to go right in the garbage. I've actually seen Easter egg hunts at churches, and the little pamphlets and stuff, and people walk up and put it back on the table, or they throw it away. Because in some places, you got to empty the eggs into your bags, and then you put the eggs inside these containers. One place it was 55-gallon trash cans like things, and you dump the eggs, the plastic eggs back in there so that they'll reuse them. So, all right. That being said, how many people come back? Halloween, I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to look at entertaining it. I finally gave in and went to the church and volunteered at the church, the last church we was at, Daytona. Let me tell you, I will never do it again. Never do it again. I felt so ashamed And I kept asking the Lord, please forgive me for doing this. People, I'm not being judgmental, but God's place is a holy ground. You got people smoking weed, you got cussing, you got music that's going on, throwing papers all over the ground. And what are we getting out of this? How are you showing God's love? I'm sorry. I disagree with it. You may agree with it, then that's okay. Let's agree to disagree. I don't find it right. We might as well let them inside of the church and do that. Because if the grounds are already being disgraced and you're walking in, they're taking it with you. Sometimes I think people do things as gimmicks to get people in to the church. I do. I really do. It's crazy. But either way, where are you at with God's love? Where are you at as a person? Are you one of these parents when holidays come around, you go out? Now think about this, okay, people? Now just hear me out here. You have Christmas, so you go out and buy Christmas gifts for your kids, your family, whatever. Then you have kids' birthdays in January. And then you got February, Valentine's Day. So now we got to buy more candy. And now more toys. Now they're even making little basket things for Valentine candy and toys and all this nonsense. And then you hear the kids screaming. What really gets me is right after Christmas. I want this toy. I didn't get this toy. I want it. I want it. And they're throwing a fit. I'm trying to get you something off this clearance. I don't want none of that stuff. Well, let me tell you right now, we got a problem. Big problem. The problem is you ain't getting nothing. And if you keep cutting up a shine, you're going up to the car. And we're going to have a nice sit in that car. And you're going to, when you get home, I guarantee it, if I was you, I would go straight to your room, turn on nothing, lay on that bed, and think about what you've done. See, that's how I was as a dad. I didn't put up with the nonsense. They were allowed that stuff from their mother. I told you guys, as soon as I walk out the door, you're not grounded, you can do whatever you want until he comes home. And then she wonders why they're all over the place. Amazing. Totally amazing to me. The stuff that goes on that people find it's okay. And then you wonder why the judgment on the earth is right now. You know, people say, well, Good Friday is the day that Jesus went to the cross. You know, he was crucified on the cross on Good Friday. Okay. Well, then he couldn't have been risen on Sunday. Now hear me out. I'm telling you, more and more people's catching on to this. I've said this years ago. Years and years ago, way before Christian. I said, so you expect to a pastor now, where the kids were going, and they'd get on the church bus, or people would come pick them up, and they'd take them to a church called Maranatha Church. And the guy was talking, and I said, wait, hold on a minute. This is why I don't come to church, because he asked me. I said, because first of all, I don't believe all the stuff you guys have said. Give me an example. Okay. Jesus went to the cross on Friday. What you saying? Yes. And his resurrection was Sunday. 3 days. Now granted, I'm not the biggest on things on math here, but I can do 24 hours. So if he went, let's just say 8 o'clock, he surrendered his life. Okay? Let's just put a time frame on this. He said, okay, I'm with you. So 8 o'clock p.m., our time, not Jewish time, our time. Because I know their clocks are different. Their days are different. Everything's different. He goes, okay, our time, 8 o'clock. All right, 8 o'clock. 8 to 8 Saturday night is what? He said, one day. I said 8 p.m. Saturday night to 8 p.m. Sunday is how many? And he just looked at me. That means Jesus didn't come out of that grave and defeat hell and do all that until Monday night. This is how the devil's able to use people to bring people away from God. Because in order to get it right, we have to know the exact day. We have to go off the Jewish calendar. And we got to know the events. Was it cold? Was it hot? Was it this? Was it that? You put it all into the equation. But now, we go off of our calendar. Okay? Does that mean we're not going to heaven? No. Does not mean that. So if we celebrate Christmas, December 24th to 25th, because it moves, Christmas is never the same. Matter of fact, I think the only holiday that I know of that ever stays the same on a Thursday is Thanksgiving. I might be wrong. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong on it. Because I really don't pay that much attention to all the holidays anyway. Most of the time I had to work through them all anyway. Even if I was off, it was work. Going to the parks, loading up all this stuff. And again, not going down that avenue. But you think about what happened, what Jesus did. When he took all sin into him, went down, now he's still beaten. Beyond recognition. Beyond recognition, people. You get that in your head. Really, beyond recognition. They overextended. I think it's 30 lashes or 40, and they dropped 2 or 3 off so they didn't go over the correct amount of strikes they were supposed to put on someone. Think about that. And here today, we're allowing, I'm going to identify, I'm going to become a woman, and I'm still going to enter competitions, and I'm going to win as a woman. Can't be mad at nobody else but ourselves for allowing this nonsense to go on. I ask God every day, please forgive me. If I could write a letter, but who do you want me to write it to? Because it's not going to do. What's it going to do? One signature. No. How do you get something passed these days? You go straight up in numbers, stand out there on that street in front of that Capitol building, in front of that White House, and you get every news channel under the sun down there. Eventually, we're going to start opening our ears and start listening. Kind of like, let's think about taxes. The IRS. You know, the IRS shouldn't even exist. There was no purpose. Man created the IRS. Look how many people that in the governments don't pay taxes. Why do we got to pay them then? I don't care if you're a president. I don't care if you're in the House. I don't care if you're in the Senate. I don't care if you're whatever you are. You shouldn't get. You're making a fortune. We're not making that kind of money. And you get free taxes, free medical, free dental, free gasoline, free air trips. I mean, you get everything free. Give me a break. While we're out here beating ourselves silly. For what? For what you works for you, but doesn't work for us. Social Security, another useless thing to pay into, because there's going to be nothing left. Because the generations coming up under us, they don't want to work. The devil's making them lazy. COVID, cover up your face so you can't see emotions. So they sit at home. They don't care. They don't care. They don't have to do schoolwork. They can sit on their games. They still can talk to their friends. They're in the room. They don't have to wear a mask. Some of them have cameras and stuff. It doesn't matter. Think about it. Take away your kid's cell phone. Tell them to go outside and play TV tag. They're going to look at you like, what? Go play hide and go seek. Get all your friends together and go play hide and go seek in the dark. Outside. No. It's stupid. Yeah, because you don't have no imagination. Here's some Hot Wheels. Go out there and make a little dirt track out there and pretend like you're Richard Petty. I like Richard Petty. I like Dale Earnhardt better. I was a big Junior fan. I didn't really watch his dad very much. I always liked Dale Earnhardt Jr. There's something about the way he drives in his car, and I don't know. Things just like being a Pittsburgh fan. It was the colors that drew me to it. Oh no. Not really. I mean, I like watching football. I'm not really too big on all of it, to be honest with you. It's but I don't know. This fantasy football and all this stuff, it's a waste of time. I mean, I get it. Some people, a lot of things that I do is probably a waste of time to people. Maybe it is. But everything I try to do today, I try to give God glory through. We go through life struggling enough. I've struggled enough. You change jobs, and I know people are going to say, well, maybe it wasn't from God. Well, maybe it wasn't. But then you explain to me how I pray, Lord, if this is not where you want me, then take it from me. But every time they start doing road construction, I'm telling you, they mess up more stuff. Route you in different ways, and it's going to be like that for years. It's been a while since I've been up on this side of Pennsylvania, so that's why I'm pausing a little bit, trying to figure out where I'm at. But anyways, people, to really appreciate what Jesus did and the love of this upcoming holiday, it's not about a white bunny, whatever color bunny you want to make it. I mean, seriously, this person sent me a video of the transgenders have a rainbow bunny. American Africans have a chocolate-looking bunny. Well, I don't know. I grew up with milk chocolate Easter bunny. I never was a fan of the white chocolate. Still ain't today. So, and I'm not trying to be smart about it, but does that make me a racist because I don't like the white chocolate? Come on, people. I mean, I don't care what color Santa Claus is. And then you got people saying Jesus isn't white. I never said he was white. Never once said he was white. All I'm saying is his mother was Jewish. They're darker skinned. We don't really know what God is. Doesn't say. God is God. Is God African American? Is he Jewish? Is he Italian? Is he Muslim? Is he, you can go down the list. God is God. And then you get all these people that can't stand America. Then why are you here? I don't understand it. Go back to your country that you came from. And you're going to learn to respect the things you have here compared to what you have there. You let somebody come from Mexico, not New Mexico, from Mexico, look at them. They're grateful. And I know a lot of people, man, they got to speak English. Yeah, maybe so. I don't understand nothing they say. I used to. Understood some of the words. Well, maybe they're thinking the same thing when we go to their country on trips. Maybe we should learn to speak their language before we go. Nowadays, you got all these phones you can speak into and translate stuff. Don't be upset if you walk into a McDonald's and they don't understand what you're saying and you're trying to get a Big Mac and you get a quarter pounder. Well, I'm not saying it's right. It used to drive me crazy. If you don't know how to speak here, why are you here? I was the same way. Now I'm like, big deal. I just don't like a bunch of people complaining about stuff. Because you fall out of God's love. Because we're not in the love. We're supposed to love our neighbors as ourselves. See, I don't have no problems sending something to somebody. If they say they're going to do something, then let's do it. But I got a huge problem when you say you're going to do something and it never happens. I walk away. I don't want no more parts of it. I've been around it too long. Put you in bad places. So, while you're running out this holiday, if you're one that thinks it's okay, well, it's between you and God, first of all, not between me and you, between you and God. You think you're going to run out and buy these already made Easter baskets, buy a bunch of other stuff, buy a bunch of eggs, stuff full of stuff, buy some toys, kites, balloons, pickup trucks, Corvettes. Remember, when you're going out buying those expensive cars when they get older, I'm your child. I'll take I could give you a few old school cars. Think about it. That's all we're doing. The older they get, the more expensive it gets. But I want you to think about before you start throwing all that stuff in the cart to bring a smile. That smile's only temporary. Hey, it's only temporary, people. They get a bunch of candy. It doesn't matter. You can give candy all year round. Forget about the bunny. Go buy a chocolate cross and sit them down and explain the power of the cross and what the cross did. Why we're here. That bunny didn't do nothing for us. The only thing that bunny did make me happy because it was a big. Back then they were really big. I mean, them things were big and fat. Milk chocolate. It'd take you forever to eat that thing. And when you're poor, let me tell you, that rabbit was the best thing ever. But now you're filling baskets full of basketballs, soccer balls, kites, jump ropes, chalk. I mean, it got to a point that people took clothes baskets, wrapped it, put holes in it, put hangers around it, wrapped that, and made it look like the biggest Easter basket, and filled the damn thing. And I'm like sitting there thinking, and I knew the person that did this, and I'm just shaking my head going, this is beyond stupid. Beyond stupid. Because of guilt. That's all it is. But I want you to think back how much money you just spent on Christmas and how much stuff that my sister that's no longer with us, she used to complain all the time. I'm not buying all this stuff again. Half the stuff's already broke, and this was a few days after Christmas. I said, you say this every year. Because there's no meaning behind it. They got so much stuff, they don't even know what to start to play with. Half of it stays in boxes. They shove it in their closets, shove it under beds, and totally forget all about it. They get older, they end up getting rid of it all. Maybe it was something they really didn't even want. Maybe they just liked it because you liked it. I don't know. Either way, you do the best you can do. I did the best I could do, but I never taught my children about Jesus until recent. Like I said, they don't love you when you walk in the devil's realm. They're sure not going to love you when you walk in God's realm. That's for sure. But either way, people, think about the real meaning this year. What if Jesus comes at this particular event from Thursday on? What if Jesus comes? What if it turns darkened in this Passover time, in this time frame of the resurrection? What if the 3 days of darkness comes in? Are you going to start repenting? You're going to wait till the last minute? You're going to try to be the thief on the cross? Why? Why would you even waste so much time? We've wasted enough time. I know I have. It's probably why I have jobs like this right now, to get me back focused. I don't know. But I pray every day, your will be done. Take this burden from me. See, but the difference is, I don't have just myself. I have my wife that relies on me, counts on me to do the right decisions under God. You got to be your own sight on what's coming. You really got to look at where you're at in your walk, because tomorrow might not come. And if it doesn't come, can you honestly stand right now and say, I'm 100% I could go to heaven? I don't know, people. The last couple months, I thought I could honestly say it. But the Lord said, that 30 days that I was going through with him, I asked for an extended 30 days. And I just asked for another one. Because I don't like some of the stuff I'm finding in my life. I don't like it. So I would have to say no. No, I wasn't ready. But the more I examine, the more I'm casting stuff to the lake of fire. I'm going to get myself back ready. I know some of you might go, well, what's your percentage then? I'll tell you. I'm not afraid to tell you. I would put myself about 80%. Maybe 75%. Some of my thoughts, some of the things that I've had that entered in my life, some hatred, some complaining about stuff or asking God why. I can go down the list, people. Sometimes I think you need to hear it from somebody else. Sometimes I think you really need to look at someone and go, yeah, this is why we don't trust man. This is why we don't put our faith in everything in there. Because if you look at pastors, they're falling one by one by one. But I never claim to be a pastor. I never claim to be a prophet. I don't claim to be anything. I just speak what the Lord gives me, and I walk away from it. It's up to you. It's on the table. You either pick it up and eat it, or you go hungry. That's it. You got to decide where you're at in life. It's funny. Didn't get into over the weekend. It was, I didn't get a chance to do that bucket video because everything was all messed up. They routed me further away to try to get me home, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. This is ridiculous. This place, I believe, where I'm at right now is nothing but 34s. And I told them from the get-go, I don't want to do 34s. I'll come there Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. You got to get me home Friday night. Not Saturday morning, Friday night. But it's funny how they're off on the weekends. They get their weekends off. So we're out here sacrificing all week long when people go home. And again, it sounds a lot like complaining, because it is. Just giving you an example. I started lifting it up to God and asking for forgiveness, because I'm tired of living like this. So either way, examine yourself. What if he comes tomorrow, tonight? I recommend y'all take a 30-day walk with Jesus, heart to heart. Open up that Bible and just ask him, what do you want me to read? He'll give it to you. That's why it's called the living word. That's why he's the living word. But anyways, if I don't do any videos before Easter, I will definitely. Most likely we'll do one Saturday. I don't know. Just waiting on God to see what he wants me to do. But either way, people, it's been a heck of a journey. And we'll see what tomorrow brings, right? But either way, God bless you. Peace and joy and happiness be with you. May love of the cross overflow over you, and you understand truly. I don't know how else to put the love of Jesus and the love of God to you than how I've been doing it. But either way, God bless you. Love you. Till the next one.